Assalamu alaikum students. The next question is by Sidra Iqbal. Actually, she has sent me the second part of the questions because she must be studying from the topical past papers, but I'll answer both the parts, part A and part B. So first I'll answer part A, then in the next video I'm going to answer part B, which was actually asked by Sidra Iqbal. Okay, so the first part of the question says that with reference to the relevant type of elasticity of demand, express the terms inferior goods and complementary goods. Now this question is relatively an easier question, and many students are willing to answer these type of questions in the when it comes to essay questions in paper 2. Okay, now as the question says, the inferior goods and the complementary goods. So the very first thing that should come into your mind with relation to the elasticity of demand is that which type of elasticity of demand identifies the inferior goods, and which type of elasticity of demand identify the complementary good. So first of all, we'll give the brief definition of what is elasticity of demand. Remember, we are not only talking about price elasticity of demand or income elasticity of demand or cross elasticity of demand. We are talking about overall picture of elasticity of demand. So we'll write that it is a percentage change in quantity demanded due to the change in the variable, which includes such as price or income, etc. So you'll give a generalized definition of income elasticity of the elasticity of demand rather than connecting it only with price or income. Now the next part, this is for like 2 marks. All right, so now we'll answer the question for the rest of 3 and 3 marks. Now how we are going to answer the question? It's very easy. So inferior goods, you'll just give a brief definition that inferior good is connected to the income of an individual. Higher income induces lower quantity. So inferior goods are those goods basically that when the income of an individual increases, they switch to superior goods, which are also known as normal goods, from the inferior goods. And inferior goods are subjective. They are for one individual, one good might not be inferior, but for another individual it will be an inferior good, vice versa. But there is one commonality, that whenever the income increases, the type of good whose consumption is decreased are known as inferior goods. So it can be shown through income elasticity of demand. So this is where you identified that inferior goods can be identified through income elasticity of demand, or also known as YED. So we denote income elasticity of demand through YED. Now what is the formula? Formula is very easy. The percentage change in quantity demanded divided by percentage change in income level. Now if we see that whenever the income level increases, we say that the quantity demanded decreases for such goods. So the relationship is indirect, inverse, or you can call it a negative relation. So you have to identify 2 major things. Number 1, what type of elasticity is going to answer it? YED, or income elasticity of demand, and the sign has to be negative for the good to be categorized as a inferior good. So example, if you want to give an example can be given of a public versus private transport. So individual, when they are low on income, they rely on public transport, but when their income level increases significantly, they start relying on private transport. So that is a very common and a good example of public transport. Inferior goods. Now let's talk about the last 3 marks, which is related to complementary goods. Now what are complementary goods? As you all know, that complementary goods are goods with joint demand. So remember this word, joint demand. It is very much important to remember this word. Complementary goods are goods with joint demand. For example, car and fuel. So whenever you have a car, you need to have fuel. Of course, if you have an electric car, you need to charge it. It doesn't require fuel, but 99% of the cars are not electric cars, so they require fuel in one way or the other. So how it is calculated? Complementary goods, it is calculated through the change in the quantity demanded of a good against the price of its complement. So if we say that if we say the price of the car is reduced, what will happen? The demand of the car will increase, and as a result, the demand for fuel will be increased as well. So we can say that whenever the price of the cars are reduced, as a result, the demand for fuel is increased. So we can say that there is a negative or an inverse relation. So what is the formula? The formula is percentage change in quantity demanded of good A divided by percentage change in the price of good B. So you can write A, B, good 1, 2, X, Y, whatever you want to write. And we will also tell that the relationship is negative. So you can explain these 2 points. You will get 3 marks and 2 points for the definition. And inshallah, if you're going to answer it like this, you will get 8 marks.